Good morning, folks. This is Waylon Lewis from Elephant Journal, and inspired by my lack of coffee today, I'm going to talk about the Buddhist approach to boredom, which is kind of the opposite of the Western materialistic, speedy approach to boredom. So, is this a boring topic? I actually think it's sort of the opposite because all of us want to be present, to show up for our lives, to experience love, to experience fulfillment, to experience joy and happiness. And we can't do that if we're constantly running away from the present moment. The present moment is where anything good happens. So anything we've ever experienced that we've enjoyed is comes from being slowed down and present for the details of our life. So first I'm going to just read a little bit about the Buddhist approach to boredom while you all come here. And if you're just arriving, please say where you're from. And if you feel like it, maybe how your day is going or a mindful moment of your day, but at least where you're from. It's always nice to see where people are from. So here's Trungpa Rinpoche talking about boredom. Hey, Nuvara. All right. How does meditation practice fit into the Buddhist path, he's asked. Sitting practice of meditation is the basic point before we embark on any spiritual discipline at all, especially in Buddhism. So this little answer is not about Buddhism. You don't need to care about Buddhism at all. We're just talking about how to get through boredom to joy, basically, instead of avoiding boredom. And that's something is hopefully accessible for all of us. Any of us who want to be present for our families, for our work, for our life, and not to be kind of speedy and low-level stressed out all the time. All right? So that's sort of the ground of what we're going to talk about. The teachings of Buddha are presented in a threefold way. And on the Hinayana level, or Theravada level, we have Shila, Samadhi, and Prajna. Discipline, joyful discipline. The word in Buddhism is joy for discipline, that they're synonymous. So it's not a sort of guilt-tripping, uptight discipline. Meditation, and intellect, or insight, or discernment. You could even call it judgment. So a lot of us think judgment is a bad thing. Prejudgment is actually the problem. Prejudgment, when we go into a situation with preconceived ideas, fixed ideas about what we're going to see, is the problem. As Sherlock Holmes says in one of those Conan Arthur Doyle books, he says the key to his genius is that he simply walks into a crime scene or a mystery, any kind of situation, with a completely open mind. And no matter how small or minute a clue might be, he puts them all together, and then there's the answer. Instead of going in with a preconceived idea, this happened, this person must have done this, and fitting the facts to that, which is how most of us approach life. All right. So back to Trungpa Rinpoche. And before we begin with Shila, discipline of any kind, we have to learn to slow down. That is the basic discipline of how to be. So the basic way to learn to behave in a Buddha-like way is sitting practice of meditation. Then after we develop meditation, samadhi, and knowledge, prajna. Before we learn to spell words, we have to learn our ABCs. We have to be actually willing to accept the boredom of sitting meditation, willing to relate with that particular sanity, which is unconditional sanity. This sanity has nothing to do with fighting against insanity or trying to exorcise it. It is just fundamentally, basically trying to be simple as what we are. That is the basic point according to the Buddha. So as Nirvana said, come as you are. As Suzuki Roshi said, it is wisdom which is seeking wisdom. So we're not trying to be other than what we are. We're simply trying to relax. Why is that so important? Why is it... So recently we shared an Instagram that said, replace fear with love. And I hate that advice. It's horrible advice. Fear is actually part of our human experience. And you don't get rid of fear. You don't replace it. You simply make friends with your fear. Make friends with your heart. Stop trying to get away from anything hard in life. Just face the fear with gentleness, with bravery, and ease into it. And the fear, like a tight shoulder, will just relax. That is fearlessness, not replacing it. and replacing it with love. Such a generic cliche term. I have no idea what that means. So basically it's encouraging our egotistical approach to life is to get rid of anything bad like fear. I call it gated community spirituality. And to cling to anything good like love. And in clinging to love, we destroy it. We've all been in relationships where we loved the person or they loved us, but it was too tight and we destroyed or lost the love. The way to keep love is to give it. We have unconditional love within our hearts. We are fundamentally good. The Buddha or Trungpa Rinpoche would cite as proof of that basic goodness that anyone, even a so-called evil person, hopefully, will look at a puppy, will look at someone helpless, and in seeing them hurt, seeing a puppy get kicked, your heart will naturally go out to that puppy, pre-thought. And anyone who doesn't feel that way, obviously we've on some level completely lapsed into what you could call egohood or some sort of self-centered egotism. And while we might say those people are evil, even those people aren't evil. They're just lost in their self-concern. I'm vegan for that reason. You don't have to be, and this isn't a talk about being vegan, but this is a talk about being compassionate, and that compassion naturally arising from our hearts. And that is love. And you replace, so I would actually give the opposite advice. From a Buddhist point of view, you would replace love with fear. You would give up the love. You would give the love to others, and in so doing, you'll get the love back again and again. I often reference Eleanor Roosevelt. We have a great blog, Renee, Eleanor Roosevelt quotes that I put together, and one of them relates to her first discovery of true happiness or joy, which was in being kind to other people. For the first time in her life, she was happy. So from that point on, all she wanted to do was be kind to others. And then, so we would replace love with fear. So we would take on the fear. We would gently breathe it in. So any of you who practice yoga, you breathe through the tense parts. You breathe through the tough parts, right? You don't avoid the tough parts. You breathe through them. Obviously, if something's going to hurt you, if you're not flexible, yoga should never be pain. Life should never be hurting us at our joints, at our fundamentals. So don't do anything bad for yourself. This isn't a self-flagellating thing. But fear, we can breathe it in. So Renee, maybe you could also share the blog about Tonglen, which is the meditation practice of actually breathing in fear, breathing out love. And it's a fearless practice that can transform negative emotions into a kind of generous goodness. All right, so then I'll read something about boredom. So Renee, I wrote a blog on hot boredom versus cool boredom. So if you search hot boredom, cool boredom, Trungpa, you'll find it. And this is, hot boredom is something we spend all of our lives avoiding. We buy 55-inch, 65-inch TVs. We are on our phones whenever we're walking. It's one of my mindful pet peeves. We're multitasking all the time. It's funny, I used to kind of defend smokers in the sense that I said the smoke break is the only American tradition, or maybe worldwide tradition, where people actually go outside and do nothing for 5 minutes or do nothing for 10 minutes. They look around at the trees, they enjoy maybe one another's company, they talk, they take a break. Now, the smoke break has been ruined by every time I'm biking around, I see restaurant workers or office workers on a smoke break. They're always smoking and looking at their phone. So even now we're multitasking. The speed of this world is trying to fill every inch of our lives because they want to make money off of our attention. That's how websites work. That's how Facebook works. Facebook right now is pushing Facebook Live because it wants to succeed with it. And they're pushing down news and media like elephant because they want news and media to pay for it. Ironically, news and media has almost no money, so it's an interesting plan, at least independent news and media. So on that note, if you feel like you appreciate this stuff and you want to support elephant, we desperately need it. We have been crushed. We're 1/3 of the size of what we were even 1 year ago because we made them. of relying on Facebook. Sorry, I think it just broke up. But elephantjournal.com/best or elephantjournal.com/read. /best is free. It's our online magazine with all of our best content. So if you feel like getting that, we're actually trying to offer you something that isn't just hype and noise in this world. We're trying to offer you tools for your daily life to be mindful, to be truly joyful, to be of service to this world. Is the video working? Maybe give it a like or some sort of emoticon and let me know. Renee, I also wrote about hot and cool boredom, if you can find that. Hot, cool boredom, Trungpa. If you could put that in the comments. Also, if you can put the newsletter and the subscribe links. Just if you want to, the newsletter is free. The subscription is only $1 a month. Maybe if anyone listening is or watching is a subscriber, you can attest to whether it's a good value or not. $1 a month. It's not too expensive. Alrighty. So the way we get to happiness, the way we stop being caught up in fear and low-level stress and speediness. I have to show you guys this. This is my audience here at home. His sort of sleepy audience. God, he's so cute right now. Look at this guy. Wedford. He's about to go to sleep, you can tell. And the eyes are drooping. You can lie down, Boo. Good boy. If that isn't a little meditation, just looking at a dog, I don't know what is. Alrighty. So the way to get to genuine happiness and a life of service and benefit for others and total relaxation, the kind of relaxation we fly to Mexico for, we fly to a beach for, it's available right here. And the way we do that is we simply have to relax into hot boredom, which is something we spend our whole lives trying to avoid. Our whole lives we're trying to fill the gap. We're trying to stay away from boredom by being online or on our phones or fidgeting. We're getting to the point where a presidential candidate is widely reputed not to be able to even be present and listen for something for more than a couple minutes. That isn't a partisan point. It's a manifestation of a speedy culture. All right, so let's talk about the way to do that is to be able to get through hot boredom. Here's a little talk about it from Trungpa. Boredom is part of the discipline of meditation practice. This type of boredom is cool boredom, refreshing boredom. Boredom is necessary and you have to work with it. It is constantly sane and solid and boring at the same time, but it's refreshing boredom. The discipline then becomes part of one's daily expression of life. So Trungpa Rinpoche talks about how meditation is just as ordinary as brushing your teeth in the morning. It's just something you do. You take care of your mind, you take care of your heart, you take care of your teeth, you take care of your body. Just ordinary. It's not some big spiritual endeavor. Such boredom seems to be absolutely necessary. Cool boredom. So I'll talk a little bit more about hot boredom and cool boredom, but those links are in the blogs in Elephant, and I wrote about it. Hopefully, Renee, you were able to find that. So hot boredom is that feeling, in a way, I always think of it as when you've been in the sauna for maybe a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes too long. Every second feels really long. It's really hard to stay in the sauna longer. And you just want to get out. That's the feeling in meditation. That's the feeling when you get mindful, when you just slow down. You're actually beginning to exercise this muscle of patience, of being willing to slow down into the present moment. And everything in your ego, everything in your inertia, everything in your habitual pattern wants to get out, get away. And that's actually where temper and a lot of anger and a lot of aggression in this world comes from. Just saying, ah! So if we can just be kind to ourselves through Maitri. Maitri is a blog, Renee, if you don't mind putting that in the comments. Maitri is self-love, making friends with yourself, which might sound nice, but it's really difficult. So you have to relax and you have to exercise that muscle. Again, it's maybe like squeezing a tight muscle until it relaxes. And then once you get through hot boredom, then you experience cool boredom. Cool boredom is exactly what it sounds like. Cool boredom is, to the soul, to the heart, to the mind, the equivalent of drinking one of those little cocktail drinks with the little umbrella in it on a beach in some beautiful place. I haven't really traveled to many of these beaches, so I don't really know. But you can do that right here, right now. You can do that in the midst of your work, in the midst of your childcare, in the midst of your studying for finals, in the midst of a difficult relationship. You can do it right in the middle of your daily life. You don't have to escape. You don't have to travel for it. So, hot boredom. Breathing into the stress instead of trying to replace the fear with love, which is, God, I'm ashamed of that. You're trying to breathe into the fear. You're trying to accept it, welcome it with gentleness, with bravery, and then breathe the love out. Give the love away. And that is basically Tonglen. So I'm going to do 2 minutes of meditation. I hope you all will join me. This is actually putting the pedal to the metal. This is actually how we do it. Instead of just talking about it or listening about it, let's actually do it. So take a good posture. You can kind of rotate your sit bones back and forth. Redford's already ahead of us. He just opened his eyes when I said his name and went. All right, so take a good posture. Relax your shoulders, up, back, down. Take a good breath, and let's all do this. If you're actually watching, do this with us. Breathe in and out. So we will begin by offering a bow. If you feel like you can offer a heart or a like or a gesture of goodwill to the video, to each other, to the world, and it's not a big meaningful thing. I don't think you're going to change the world through emoticons, but it's simply an expression of, I'm here, let's do this, thank you, or have a great day, or I'm going to have a great day, or whatever. So a bow of mutual respect, and a reminder that this practice isn't for us, it's for us and the whole world. All right, so let's breathe in and out. If you're just tuning in, you can say where you're from, and I'll go through any questions right after this. Breathe in, breathe out. This is the meditation practice of the Buddha. It's called shamatha, resting the mind in the present moment. Our minds are so tired because we're trying to avoid hot boredom through multitasking, being on our phones. So now we're finally going to give ourselves a moment of rest. Breathe in and out. If you feel your tightness in your body, if you feel your body relaxing, that's good. Just keep breathing. Your eyes are open in this particular practice, hands flat on your thighs. Eyes are open because this is a wakeful practice. There are other practices where we close our eyes. This is a wakeful practice. We're not trying to shut the world out at all. Your eye gaze is down about 45 degrees, maybe 4 feet in front of you. This is not a serious practice. It's okay to be relaxed, to adjust, to cough. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, that's already relaxing. Just touching in with your breath, trying to be present a little bit. But what if we're caught up in our thoughts, our speed, our aggression, our worries, our thoughts about lunch? It can be good thoughts, bad thoughts, doesn't matter. When you notice yourself thinking, label that thought. I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking about a girl. I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about a donut. It could be anything good or bad. I'm stressed. Thinking. Return your attention to your breath. That is the practice. So let's practice that. You're breathing in and out. In and out. Let's do that together. In and out. But I'm thinking. Label it thinking gently. It's not a bad thing. Thinking. Return my attention to the breath. Thinking. I'm wondering if people are bored, if people are leaving, if people are staying. Who knows? Thinking. Return to the breath. Okay, let's end with a bow of mutual respect and appreciation to the whole world, to Syria, to Hillary, to Trump, to Justin Trudeau, to Baton Rouge, to the whole world. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so what was your experience? Say what your experience was like. What we just did was we had a couple thousand people, about 25,000 people by the time this video ends. And then it'll go on youtube.com/elephantjournal. If you can put that link in the comments. If you appreciated that, give it a like, or a comment, or say what it was like for you. We just had 25,000 people live, and then hopefully another 100,000 subscribe on youtube.com/elephantjournal. Actually meditate and be present with their breath, with our breath, with my breath, and our thoughts, and coming back to the breath. So what happens is we get caught up in our thoughts and we believe them. So we start thinking about Ben & Jerry's, and before you know it, we're in our car to the grocery store getting Ben & Jerry's. And that sounds cute, but that actually happens in the same way if you're wanting to commit murder or if you're wanting to propose to someone. So our thoughts and our desires and our emotions can kind of run our whole life, and they're not bad. The Sakyong Mipam, my Buddhist teacher, always says, our mind can be our ally. We have to be able to use our mind like a beautiful tool instead of being used by it. So it's okay to fall in love. It's okay to go get Ben & Jerry's. It's probably not okay to go murder someone, but we need to do that out of a genuine expression of our present moment, not out of habitual patterns. Habitual patterns are what keep us miserable and keep our lives selfish. So I'm going to go through some, if you have any questions, I'm going to try not to read where people are from, because that always takes like 10 minutes, even though I find it so interesting. And I love saying hi to people, like Janae in Indianapolis. It's hard to resist. Brianna in Ocean City, New Jersey. Kari in Mexico. Julie in Rhode Island. I can't stop. Michelle from New York. Linda from Gainesville, Florida. Rebecca from Newburgh, Indiana. Gemma from Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is an amazing city. I'm going to put this back down so it's not shaky. Judy from Oregon. All right, I'm going to skip all the rest unless you're from somewhere super unusual. Nuvera from Karachi, Pakistan. Alfred from Woonsocket, Rhode Island. That's a cool name, deserves a mention. All right, Shannon. I'm just trying to stay with the moment and deal with my feelings as they come. Also working on letting things that are not meant for me go. That sounds okay. Wendy, how's my foot? Yeah, I stepped on a bone twice, a sharp dog bone yesterday, and I'm limping around. It's pretty bad, but I cleaned it out. I felt like the Terminator doing surgery on myself. I got into the bathtub and cleaned it out yesterday. Before our academy meeting, if you're interested in joining Elephant for our training academy, it's elephantjournal.com/academy. And it's very affordable, unlike most online training programs. Alrighty. Sue from South Wales just came in from doing some gardening. And you're in your relaxing home, I assume, or dome. That sounds amazing. I'm coming to visit you. I'm part Welsh. Tara from Vermont. I'm very jealous. I want to move back to Vermont. I lived there during high school. Going through my dried, foraged, homegrown medicinals, calendula, comfrey, yarrow, etc., and planning on making some salves. That sounds amazing. Sounds like you're already living a very mindful, Portlandia-approved life. Delaney, my look is totally badass, thank you. It's really just my waking up look. I like the idea of open-mindedness. I always find I become inspired after rest. Slowness is a practice. There's an interesting corollary to this discussion about slowing down, is that Trungpa Rinpoche also points out that it's not better to be slow than fast. Being fast is beautiful. If you're Usain Bolt and you're running, fast is great. He doesn't want to slow down. The notion of slowing down or speeding up, some people need to speed up. Some people, maybe if they're been on their couch for 10 years and you're just watching Big Lebowski for the 10th time, maybe you need to kind of be more wakeful. So there's nothing bad about being fast or good about slowing down. The notion of both of those terms is simply coming into the present moment. So the present moment's where it's at. But for most of us, slowing down is a good practice. Not multitasking, not being on the phone when you're walking, looking around at the trees. When you come to a stoplight, practice this. Don't get your phone out. Actually, just look around you at the traffic, at the trees, at the people. Be present for your life. When you're on your phone, nothing wrong with the phone, just do that. I love it when I see someone sort of pull over if they're walking. They pull over to the side of the sidewalk and they're just texting fully, or they're on the phone fully. All right. Gemma, I spent the morning teaching parents how to observe their children's play. Wow, that sounds amazing. Pure mindfulness, watching them create their reality. Boise, Idaho, Delaney. Carolyn from Phoenix, just scrambled to get boys off to pick day at school. Remember pick day? Yep, I had a bowl cut. My pick is actually, I'll show it to you if people want. It's kind of funny. It's right over there. All right, listening to you while driving to Iowa. Certain things I think are actually kind of nice. I was just going to say that. If you're on your phone talking with a friend while going for a nice walk, or you're walking with your dog and you're on your phone, some of that can be okay. It's when you're sort of not looking where you're going and you're wrapped up in this world while doing something else that can cause an accident. That's where it seems kind of troubling. All right, Essex, UK, Leisha, Denver, Carol, Corpus Christi. Leisha, I agree about not getting away from fear. It's there for a reason. Fear, yeah, people often say I'm afraid of heights. I say that's a very rational fear. You don't want to fall off a cliff. Fear can be your friend. Judy, waiting in the hospital waiting room while my friend has a procedure. Oh, big love to your friend. Maybe everyone can give Judy some love, or her friend. Give her a like or a reassuring comment. We're there for you. Or I guess we're not there for you since we're just online, but mentally we're there for you. Alrighty, Dennis, Tucson, Arizona. I used to visit my grandparents there. Elsie Marie, fear is my trigger system to alertness. Wow, I love that. We're stealing that and putting it on Instagram.com/elephantjournal. Love from Nashville, love back. Fear of facing an addiction. There's some amazing articles I've seen recently on the New York Times about how to deal with addiction. Also on Reddit, if you search, there's some amazing resources. Renee, the editor on duty, who's wonderful. Maybe you can think of some blogs or articles about how to face addiction. Redford just opened his eyes because somehow he figured out that I was looking at him. Look at that guy. There he goes. And he's gone again. Look at that little paw beneath his jowls. Such a little cutie. All right. Lorraine from Ireland. Liz from Ireland. You two ought to connect up. Emma, agree with fear shouldn't be replaced, just noticed and accepted and breathe through it. Fear dying alone. Well, I'm alone. I mean, I have Redford, but alone is not that bad. We have some beautiful blogs on aloneness or loneliness. Buddhism talks a lot about embracing loneliness, and I tell people that, and they say, oh, you mean aloneness. It's okay to be alone. Lonely is the problem if you're feeling insecure. And I say, no, 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 no. Buddhism is actually saying it's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to feel insecure. It's okay to feel that pain. We're not just talking about aloneness where you're reading a paperback book on a hammock by a stream and drinking some single malt scotch and everything seems super cool and being alone is super cool. We're talking about being alone when you don't want to be alone. That is okay. So we have a blog by Pema Children on the notion, actually it's by me, but it's heavily dependent on Pema. It's titled The Buddhist Notion of Loneliness as a Good Thing. If you want to read that, hopefully Renee can get that in the comments. And thank you, Renee. There's the 10 great Eleanor Roosevelt quotes. I love Eleanor. I want to name one of my kids in the future after Eleanor. I could name the kid Roosevelt, Rose, Rosie, Eleanor. It's all cool. All right, Nicole. Sometimes I feel my writing suffers, then a few months later it has spunk again. I think stress as well as fear hinder creativity. Stress and fear that you don't relate to hinder creativity. Stress and fear that you relate to, that you massage like a tight shoulder, that you face, that you breathe through, actually can be a source for creativity. I'm afraid, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid, like the person, our friend said, of dying alone. That could be a wonderful source for a beautiful article or story. You don't need to exploit your neurosis like a oil derrick for creativity, but you can use it like fertilizer to be the source of your creativity. So remember, stress and fear are not bad. Not relating to stress or fear is bad. Not relating to stress or fear will cause further stress or fear. So relate to it with friendliness. I have a couple articles, Renee, on stress. Stress is underrated, or something about stress is good, something like that. Folks, you can search as well on Elephant. Just go to elephantjournal.com. You can search Waylon stress or whatever I mention at any time. Alrighty. Kindness. You cost nothing, and it would be great if we could spread it like jam. I love that, Keith. Give Keith a like or a comment. All right. Oh, yeah, Nicole, I'm not saying smoking is good for you, but I am saying it was this funny little opportunity for us speedy folks to slow down and do nothing. And now it's become like, now we've even ruined the smoke break with the smartphone, the dumb phone. It's $1 a month to subscribe, $14 a year. So it's $1 and like, I don't know, you could do the math, 20 cents a month. We basically wanted to make it 108 cents. All right. Yeah, Renee, if you can't find mine about hot and cool boredom, it's in there. But if you've run into anything else interesting by myself or about Pema or about Trungpa Rinpoche that is to this topic, go for it. So we actually have a new subscribe link, Renee, that's way easier. It's elephantjournal.com/read. So if any of you go to elephantjournal.com/read, you can subscribe and read Unlimited Elephant. That said, I encourage none of you should subscribe unless you are already reading a lot or want to read a lot. The more important thing to do, which is free, is elephantjournal.com/newsletter or /best. That's our online magazine, which we put a lot of love into. Facebook really only allows viral stuff through its algorithm. All the other good stuff that maybe isn't so sexy doesn't really get through the algorithm. So we put all the great stuff, the quality content, in our newsletter, our magazine, elephantjournal.com/best. Salt Lake. Redford woke up, ate, walked around the yard. I took him out so he could go to the bathroom out front, and then he went back to bed. Someone was asking. Sarah Perotti, worth every penny. In fact, far more than $1 a month. Love, love, love my subscription. Thank you so much, Sarah. Give Sarah some love because it's people like her who keep us available for people like you. Otherwise, we'd be gone. Redford is meditation, as Robin said. I love that. There's Maitri in the comments. You can read about it. Eagle Rock, Missouri. Austin, Texas. Charleston, West Virginia. Greenville, South Carolina. Forest Hill, California. Julie, yeah, amen. But that's the thing. We're not saying technology is bad. Julie's making the point. It's ironic. We're doing a phone meditation for a break from the phone. We're not saying technology is bad. Just like with our mind, we have to use technology instead of being used by it. So phones are kind of amazing. I remember in the 90s, I was living in Boston for most of the decade, and you'd make a plan to meet someone, and if someone met you on the wrong corner or was 10 minutes late or whatever, your plans for the whole day were gone, which was kind of cool, actually. It was very flexible time. But now we can call each other, text each other, take photos of flowers and our food and put them on Instagram endlessly. Technology can be cool. I mean, we're all connecting 25,000 people around the world around mindfulness, which is kind of fun. It is ironic, though. Righty. No, this is a Pendleton sweater. People are always fascinated with clothing. It's a cardigan. Pendleton is mostly made in the U.S., not all, so it's one of my favorite companies. And this is a jacket with elbow pads, and it's secondhand. All right, I was able to calm down. Thank you from Sherry. Thank you for coming. All right, I'm just seeing if you have any comments or questions. I found it easy to focus on my breath with your guidance. Great, Dana. Thank you. Vienna, Austria. Claudia, wow. Rebecca, thank you for the meditation. I had to remind myself to move back to watching the breath instead of thinking about a speech I must give tomorrow. I appreciated this. Yeah, the irony is that when we come back again and again from obsessing or worrying or thinking about something we have to do, which is fine, when we come back from that to the breath, then we come back to what we need to do with a fresh mind, with a genuine mind. I remember one time I was doing spontaneous poetry at the end of a month-long meditation practice. So I'm with all these people I'd spent a month being silent and meditating with. And then we had this big celebratory night, and I did this spontaneous meditation, and I started off with an idea of how to do it and to be cool and kind of be Kerouac, Beat Generation-y. And almost immediately, I had no idea what I was doing, and my meditation mind, luckily, because I just meditated for a month, kind of took over, and I just became present and just started talking, it became truly spontaneous poetry instead of this sort of fake, egotistical, spoken word thing that I was trying to do. Remember, you're not trying to shut off your mind, Delana. You're just trying to be aware of your mind and then come back to your breath. But that sounds wonderful, and cheers to you. All right, just seeing if anyone... Yeah, exactly. Panic attacks are like a heightened from Noah. Panic attacks are like a fruition of a stress where all we do is we think, worry, think. And in a funny way, we're not even aware of that we're doing it, even though we're doing it all the time. So we just notice you're doing it, come back. And then you start doing it again. Notice it, come back. Breathe. Doing it again, that's okay. Just thinking, come back. So it takes practice, and you can do it in groups. You can do it for hours. You can do it for 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. It'll really help you go to sleep instead of obsessing or worrying about your work or your life. And if you do it right when you first wake up, you have this moment of clarity. I'm looking out the window. It's beautiful. And you can just appreciate your life before the to-do lists of your life all flood in. All right. Our mind can be our ally. Yeah, so Sakyong wrote a book called Turning the Mind into an Ally. The joke was turning the mind into an alley. Mary, when I meditate, I find that the thoughts aren't so much the problem as much as the fidget. Sometimes it's like I just can't stay still. Any tips? That's okay. Our bodies are kind of manifesting our crazy mind. So if people, you know how people do that thing with their knees? They're in a meeting and their knees are going up and down, or if you're in a meeting, here's a great little fun thing to try. Just look around at people's hands and knees and stuff. If they're picking at stuff, doing stuff, fidgeting, they're not actually fully present. So what's good, I'm a boss, what's good in that situation is to look at that person and connect with them and try and bring them into the meeting fully, and then they can relax. And then their best intelligence can come forward. So fidgets are just like thoughts. You just notice them, come back. And you're not trying to be still, you know? You're not trying to be still. That's a little bit too uptight. You're just trying to notice it and then relax. So just relax the fidgeting. Don't try and lock yourself into be still. It's not tight. Coffee, not getting enough sleep, not getting enough exercise, these will naturally make us fidget. Hey, from Mexico, from Miguel. Hola. I had just tuned in. Nice way to start. Enjoying your broadcast from Chemung, New Jersey. How you doing? Hey, Diane. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. How you doing? What time do you start? Yeah, we start around 9 a.m., which means more like 9:30, 9:45. Today I could not think of a single thing to talk about at all, so I decided to talk about boredom or lack of inspiration, because that's a huge obstacle or issue in a lot of our lives, and the resulting speediness, the Netflixization of our lives. We just have to entertain and fill every moment. All right. Peaks Island, Maine. Turkey near Istanbul. Wow, Yüksel. I do not have a bad Turkish accent for you. You can be grateful for that. Mahashwar from Kathmandu. Wow, amazing. All right. If you guys ask like one question each, we're going to have the most comments ever. We're almost on the verge. All right, Victoria, South Florida. Haven from Colorado. Awesome. I didn't get my coffee today, which is part of the reason I'm a little flat. Annie, namaste from Northern Ireland. I wish I could hear you speak. I love the accents. Love listening to you from Petawawa, Canada. I want to live in Petawawa, just so I can say it every day. Yeah, if you're drawn to Buddhism, you can check out, I did a link of top 10 Buddhist books for beginners. Classic Buddhist books for beginners. And they're also for experts. They're for everybody. They're fantastic. Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, Shambhala, Sacred Path of the Warrior, Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. It's not a very easy beginner's book, but it's wonderful. Middle of the Night in Australia, Queensland Coast. Shelley. Bar Harbor, Maine. Yeah, say where you're from if you're just tuning in. I was on my way out the door from Kimberly. An Elephant Live came across the phone, so I sat in my car and caught this. First, love the acknowledgement of fear. I was standing in my house asking myself what I was really afraid of. Wow, that's beautiful. That makes me feel really good for some reason. Seize the day. Seize, not cease. Don't cease the day. From Candy, great point. Yeah, Renee, I have a great blog on... it is a great blog. It's not full of me. It's full of quotes and videos on Carpe Diem, on... God, we should share this blog more. That death can happen at any moment. It's a beautiful, beautiful blog. I hope you can find that. Chris, yeah, Jeff Bridges, actually, the dude in Big Lebowski, is studying trunk rimshay and with Bernie Glassman. Jeff Bridges is the dude. Heather in Dallas, Georgia. Awesome. Stacy, feeling so tired with stress from helping aging parents. Even with letting go and helping them as needed, it is very tiring. I feel like I have to let go of my emotions. I feel a little like a shell of myself. Maybe the meditation will help refresh me. Yeah, meditation. Meditate 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. And, there's shamatha. Renee could put meditation instruction. I've done much more succinct meditation instructions. Facebook Live really encourages these videos to be long. But we also have a blog, Dathun Letter, Dathun Letter, on Elephant Journal. If you search for that, has amazing meditation instruction from Trungpa. And that, Renee, if you could also put that in the comments for Shelley. So often when you're giving, it's exhausting, right? But the challenge here is to give in a way that returns love and joy to you. So often we feel like we're giving and it's sad and it's hard being around our parents who are dying, perhaps, if that's the situation, or aging, I'm sorry. And it's emotional and we want to let go of those emotions so we're not crying all the time. Tonglen sounds like a wonderful practice for you. Hopefully we can get Tonglen in the comments, or maybe it already is. So you actually have to kind of like breathe through those emotions instead of trying to get rid of them in a way. Not that you're trying to. I don't know your situation. So check out Tonglen. Lina, yeah, I cut my nose last week and I cut my foot yesterday. So I'm getting some cool scars going, basically. Katie, nice coffee break at work. Watching this is a good way to reset. Well, thank you, and thanks for thanking. And Lina, thank you for asking about my nose. All right. My daughter has epilepsy. She's 30. Maybe this can help her. Yeah, I don't know much. I'm out of my depth there, but I would think that meditation can help any of us just relax when we're in stress, basically, when we're in tension. We can relax into that. So hopefully it could help. Yes, Colin, Renee saves the day. If anyone wants to give appreciation or like or love or thanks to Renee, please do. And if you ask like 5 more questions, I think or comments, we're at our record. Mindfulness is key. Yes, Heather. Colin, good vibes to Judy and friend. Thank you for doing that. Colin. Rachel, glad you told me to open my eyes during meditation. Normally my inclination is to go inward. It was a totally different experience. Yeah, we're not trying to go inward. We're not trying to go outward. We're just trying to be present. So the eyes are relaxed. You're not staring out at the world, looking around. You're not out. You're not going outward either. You're just being present. Thinking, breath. We're training our mind basically to habitually do the opposite of what it does now, which is to come back to the present moment whenever there's stress, whenever there's worry, whenever there's thought. Right now, we almost do the opposite. If someone yells at you, God damn it, la la la, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. Our reaction is usually to spin off. Instead of being present with it, we get away from it, or we yell out, blah blah blah. And then, when we leave that situation, as you all know, our thoughts are going, blah 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 blah. They're right, they're wrong. They're a jerk, I'm right, I'm awesome, I'm perfect, I didn't mess up, or I'm a jerk, I shouldn't have done that, I'm a horrible person, they're so right, why am I always such a fuck up, So, thinking, return to the breath. So, Rachel, thank you for your comment on that. It's okay to be alone. It's so okay. And the joke is, we're all alone anyway. Not in a bad way, we're our own person. Even if we're at a big turkey Thanksgiving dinner, we're still our own person. Our experiences are our own. And we are also intimately connected with others and with the world. And part of that, we're interdependent. So, wow, everyone should read Dorance's comment. Great comment of the day. Feeling uninspired can spiral into depression. Inspire yourself by taking a moment to yourself and only you. Sit, take a deep breath, and value all you have around you. Let your heart smile. I love that you said that, Dorrance. Instead of the typical bad New Agey advice starts the same way. Feeling uninspired can spiral into depression. Inspire yourself by, and then the New Agey advice usually is, be with happy people. Get rid of toxic people. Get happiness into you. Think positive thoughts. Get rid of negative thoughts. It's this it becomes this good versus evil thing, or this happiness versus sadness thing. Instead, we can give happiness and we can make friends with the sadness. We can make friends with the stress. That is fearlessness. That is relaxation. It's not creating a war between good and bad, between black and white, between anything. Stress is overactivation of the nervous system. Breathe through it. Good advice, Justine. Isabella, this meditation was an answer to what I was looking for today. I've been running from my feelings all week after suffering a miscarriage. I'm giving you some love there. If everyone can give Isabel some love. I finally felt accepting and welcoming of my grief, and I feel so free. Thank you so much for this. So Isabella, big love to you and yours. And yeah, we have some great blogs. Hopefully Renee can put them in the comments about folks who have gone through miscarriage and their journey with that. And often just connecting with others and knowing that you're not completely, finally, absolutely alone is powerful. It's almost all we need. And being willing, like yourself, to be brave, to feel your feelings instead of running from them. Running from them for a while is natural because we want to take care of ourselves. So don't even give yourself a hard time for running from your feelings. It's totally okay. But if you can get to the place like a nurturing lover of your own feelings, love them, cuddle them, and then you can let go. So the way to process is to face them, and then you can get through them and let go instead of trying to kind of Heisman Trophy them away. You know the Heisman Trophy? Kind of like that. So big love to you, and I think we're all touched and affected by your bravery of just sharing that. I know I am. And there's nothing wrong. Dare I say this? I say this as a friend, not as someone who's gone through this, but I've had dear, dear friends go through miscarriages. And one of the most inspiring, I'm just going to share this even if it's not politically correct. One of my friends went through a miscarriage, and he was one of my best friends and his wife, and I said, I'm so sorry, and I gave him a big hug, and he said, it's okay. You know, he was with his wife. He was like, it's okay. You know, we'll try again, and it's okay. It's a powerful experience, but it's okay. It's not a bad thing. You don't have to feel sorry for us. It's hard, but it's okay. And there's something just so powerful about the relaxed, tender way he said it's okay. So it's okay. And it's okay if it doesn't feel okay as well, right? Colin. Just feel purposeless. Hard to admit as a mom, wife, and working at a place I've wanted to for so long. Congrats. Fear of not measuring up to others plays into that daily. Just want to wow myself. Well, yeah, if you can relax into sort of boredom, then you can be completely present for everything you do. Being a mom, being a wife, being a working person. So there's nothing about this that is saying get away from life, get away from work, get away from your duties as a student or a mother or a working person. This is actually just saying if you can do all that from a grounded, restful, relaxed, natural place instead of from caffeine and speediness and multitasking, then you'll actually take care of yourself longer term, and you'll be present and genuine in your job and as a mom. Katie loves the newsletters. Thank you so much. So please do get those newsletters, elephantjournal.com/best. If we could get the 25,000 people watching this to all get our newsletter, honestly, it would save Elephant. But it's not going to happen for whatever reason, because people, you know, some people do it, like 2% of people do it, and it's our best stuff. So elephantjournal.com/best. If you want to save Elephant, and if you've subscribed to the newsletter, please give it a like. It's free. Claudine, finding the balance between discipline, busy work, and procrastination. I want to finish. That's depressing. They're like, oh no, there's a ton of likes. Finding the balance between discipline, busy work, and procrastination. I want to finish songs from idea to recording. I have all tools here. Yeah, so remember, discipline is not heavy-handed kind of Catholic school discipline. It's not hitting your hand on a ruler if you've been bad. Discipline from a genuine Buddhist, mindful kind of point of view is joy. So I climb a lot. I walk my dog a lot. I work a lot. Why do I do those things? Is it from a sense of heavy-handed discipline, or is it because I enjoy them? I enjoy them. So New York Times just had this great article I loved. It was about the only kind of exercise you're going to keep doing all the next year, the next 12 months, is an exercise you love. That's sort of obvious, but it's backed up by science. And so you have to find exercises that you love. You have to find a way to love things that are good for you. Those are two different things. Sometimes things we do, we think we don't love, like dishes. But you have to be like, okay, I'm going to do dishes. Actually, they're not that bad. They're kind of relaxing. Oop, I have a visitor. Hey! Hello! Hey, it's Ashley. Brianna, that was wonderful. I have to leave and get back to work. I probably do too. Yeah, so we do these Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. or 9:30. And you can catch all of them, Brianna, on youtube.com/Elephant Journal. You can come in. Hey, thank you. He's hungry. Ashley is bringing food for Redbird. Angela, I've been a subscriber for a while. Best $14 I've spent. Balance. It's all about balance. Thank you so much, Angela, for helping Elephant be here for you guys. And yeah. Carolyn, I missed the 90s. You should watch that Portlandia video about the land of the 90s or whatever it's called. Or listen to some Pearl Jam. I love Pearl Jam. All right. My name is Waylon Lewis. I'm the founder of Elephant, Jennifer. Thank you, Raina. All right. I think I should probably wrap up. Wow, there's so many comments. Oh, my God. It's kind of amazing. Most comments ever, Ashley. Yay! Katie, daily meditation has saved me in more ways than one. Elephant Journal contributes to my daily education. I simply cannot get enough. Thank you once again. Katie, if that's true, please get that newsletter and save our butts. elephantjournal.com/best. Thank you. Meditation from Lina helped me deliver both of my children naturally. Wow. Lina, please write an article. elephantjournal.com/best. /submit. /Ashley. Sorry, I'm distracted. What?
The coffee in the car. I'll be right there.
Oh my God, thank you. She just brought me coffee and dog food. That is a true friend. Love, 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 love all my reads. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I love Angela's advice. Use a herbal heat pack. Do you say the H in herbal? Herbal? God knows. These and other important issues will be addressed at elephantjournal.com/best. All right, there's so many comments. I think we got to wrap up, but if any of you come back on Monday, I will address all of them. Oh my God, Redford is flipping out in happiness. I'll just skim through real quick. The Netflixization of our lives. Amen. And the gated community spirituality. Meditation recording. So actually, Renee, can you put the Alan Watts and the... so we have a 50% off deal with Better Listen, Alan Watts, and Pema Chodron Audio. I love those two. Alan Watts' voice you could listen to endlessly, except that's not at all what his voice sounds like. I'm going to play Alan Watts real quick. If you've never heard Alan Watts, and Pema Chodron has just as sweet a voice. She sounds like a tough, sweet grandma that you never had. Could I give the source for the nice non-terry cotton bath towels that I mentioned in my home tour video? The home tour video, if you guys want to see an eco home tour, is at youtube.com/elephantjournal. The towels I have, which is why they're actually super eco, and they're from a woman's co-op in Ethiopia, I believe. I just bought them at this Waldorf craft fair, so I actually don't remember the source. But if you search Ethiopian women's co-op, get a fair trade one. There's a lot of imitation towels that are not made in good conditions. All right, here's Alan Watts, folks.
Now, existence, you see, is something that is spontaneous. The Chinese word for nature, ziran, means that which happens of itself. Your hair grows by itself. Your heart beats by itself. You breathe pretty much by itself. Your glands secrete their essences by themselves.
Thank you so much.
You don't have voluntary control over these things. So we say it happens
Thank you.
spontaneously.
Heroin.
So when you go to sleep and you
She's
try
not
to go
delivering
to
heroin.
sleep, you
Hey,
interfere
Ashley, come
with
here.
the spontaneous process of going to sleep.
She's not delivering heroin. She is heroin. There's Ashley. Ashley, what do you do with elephant?
I keep the wheels on the bus.
So we have a big bus.
I do editorial, I write, I am the house mother. Do I do anything else?
She's the
I
editor.
ship books right now.
Yeah, if you order, what's the book called?
Things I would like to do with you.
Is it good? You don't have to say it's good.
It's the best. This is what's making me finally have the only love relationship I've had in my life that's any good.
Aww.
Best one ever.
Love to Bradley. And how do you like working for Elephant? Is it really hard and horrible and brutal? Alrighty. Thanks, Ashley. Viewership just went up by 40 people when you did that. It's crazy. All right, Chris, great question. Hopefully that helps. So that was Alan Watts. And then Pema Children, if you click one of her videos in the Loneliness is a Good Thing blog that Renee put in the comments, you'll hear her voice. And I love it. Like, honestly, if you're stressed out, just listen to Pema Children. Renee, those links to the Better Listen should be somewhere in the talk show chat if you scroll up. But just listen to her voice. Oh my God. Pema.
And that begins with something small, just one word, one dot, and then coming to know the nature of fear as the basis, the very heart of fearlessness. In these teachings, what is said is that without it being heightened, then it just drives you, it haunts you all the time. And in talking to people now whose homes, they've had to move out of their homes, where their business, the chance of losing their job is very great, or the income that they were depending on is dried up, or the multitude of ways that people are feeling the ubiquitous nervousness around their financial insecurity and how widespread that is. Talking to people, this teaching on how to relate to fear becomes, I guess you could say, this is teaching that is like the teaching that you need to be of benefit in the 21st century. You want to be comfortable, and so you scramble for ground.
All right. That's Pema. Most of you probably know her. If you don't, she's a big little blessing. I'm going to go quickly through comments and see if... Rebecca, I have epilepsy and I teach meditation. It has helped. Rebecca, I would love for you to write an article, please. That could help so many people. elephantjournal.com/submit and say we talked in the notes. All right. Thank you to Renee. I don't know who Captain Caveman is. Thank you for your kind words of advice. I'm a daily inspiration. Thank you for thanking. I only mentioned that so that there's proof that I'm not totally effing this up, Mom. This monkey mind says hello from Nashville. Love the live talks. Sue, still here from Wales. It has been my first time listening. Will definitely return now. Going back to my garden. That sounds wonderful. With my lovely loneliness before it gets dark. Absolutely love this. Wow, I love your comment. Enjoy your dark garden. Sorry, I talked for so long. From Jim Carrey, great quote, your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Beautiful quote from Carol, we are waves of one sea, branches of one tree, the flowers of one garden. Lots of love to Isabella, tons of love for Isabella, so much love for Isabella. You guys are awesome. More love for Isabella. Charlton, Massachusetts. I'm looking Picasso-ish. A nurturing lover of your own feelings. Yes. That was a good quote for Lindsay, Renee. More love for Isabella. Oh my God, you guys are going to make me cry. Carolyn, I'm the baby born after 3 miscarriages. There is always hope. Take care of yourself. Thank you, Carolyn. More love for Isabella. I subscribed last week, and please just get that newsletter. I know I keep saying it, but if everyone did, I would never say it again. That will make the difference between this independent media and these kind of conversations being able to continue and not. elephantjournal.com/best. Art. Losing someone hurts. We need to continue. Look forward and find value in your life and self. I have trouble with this regardless. Great comment, Art. All right, the subscription, if you want to subscribe, is about $1 a month. It's elephantjournal.com/read. Isabella, thanks everyone. All right. Statin, you have to find a way of to love things that are good for you. There's another quote, Renee, for Lindsay. No nirvana without samsara. Lee knows what he's talking about, or she. I can't tell. Lee could be a guy or a girl. Bindi says hi to Redford. I love that. Stacy, you're cheering me up. But nothing wrong with being sad. The blues are sad, and they're the most beautiful thing on earth. Remember, sad is not bad, and glad is not necessarily good. Both are just what they are. All right. I am not a Coldplay fan, I have to say, Angela. Sorry. Ah! Okay. All right. Carry compassion in your pocket. I love that, Art. Jennifer, good to meet you as well. All right, we're trying to wrap up. I had a sweet, tough Grammy. She was all Irish. Man, I miss her. Yeah, big love to you, Linda. Art needs a gym buddy. The best gym buddy is yourself. Get out there, and then you'll make gym buddies. Michael's also asking what happened to my nose. I just, it looks like a cool, boxing accident, or like I was mountain biking and I hit a branch of a tree. So we'll just pretend it was that, because it wasn't. Oh, Dominic, sweet of you. Oh, Pema Chudran. Yeah, Corey, thanks for answering that. And remember, if you don't know anything of what I'm talking about, it's almost always in the comments, thanks to Renee. Warming, comforting voice like a verbal, fluffy blanket. I think that's the best compliment I've ever got. The woman talking in the video is Pema Chudran, and she's in the comments in the blogs if you search. Just click it. There's a lot of misspellings there, but no, Elephant is doing fine. So just to be clear, we have 10 million readers a month, or 7 million readers a month, but a year ago we were at 23 million readers a month. We were on the verge of being a major source for people everywhere, like a first-tier news source. And that is our goal, is to be a reference point for the whole world of sanity and humor and compassion and genuineness. We've now dropped by 2/3 because of Facebook changes in the algorithm. So we're not a nonprofit. We're not begging for your help. We're doing very well, and that's thanks to you readers, and thanks to those of you who write, and thanks to those of you who subscribe to our $1 a month subscription. But we have dropped 2/3, and it's affected a lot of media, particularly independent media, who don't have a lot of money to spend on Facebook ads. All right, Statchin's signing up for the newsletter. Thank you. I don't know what noise I made, Chris. Funny noise reaction to someone yelling. So when someone yells at you, "Oh, Charlie, you must not hurt a lot," and then you react by saying, "I don't know, I did something like that maybe. I have no idea. That's what Redford does when he's bad. He goes, All right, I'll video him again just because he's so cute. He's waiting for breakfast. All right, Pema Chudran versus self-help. There's an amazing blog, people. Please read that. Pema Chudran versus self-help. A lot of self-help is actually self-help is bad for you. It's actually bad for you. A A lot of the clinging to positivity can actually be bad for you. Yeah, I'm dressed like a hobo, John. John nailed it. Boxcar Waylon, exactly. All right, I think we're done with the comments. I might have skipped 100. All right, thank you guys. If you've liked this video, you can like it or comment. That helps the video get out beyond the choir and through the Facebook algorithm to all those who don't yet give a care about the mindful life. If you want to help Elephant, you can do so, elephantjournal.com/best for free. And that comment hopefully is in the comments. And my book, if someone's asking, Allison, thank you for asking. It's called Things I Would Like to Do With You. And it's all eco. There's no plastic coating on the cover like all other books in most magazines. So it's actually eco. It's printed in the USA. And I'll show you, if you like, it comes with a bookmark if you buy it from us, which has a little tassel in it. And it even has a drawing of a dog that's like Redford. So I illustrate in here. Sorry, everything's backward. But yeah, it's about love and mindfulness and loneliness and loving yourself and being genuine and what the hell commitment looks like in 2016. So, and it's all from a sort of Buddhist mindful point of view. And you can get that, Renee, from, if you can put it in the comments, from elephantjournal.com/books. And we've got like 15,000 more of them to sell, so that would be awesome. Get one. It's been on the bestseller list for 9 straight months at the Boulder bookstore, except it fell off for 2 weeks and then got back, which is kind of cool. And we can't get national distribution, so it's really up to the community. elephantjournal.com/books. And we've sold thousands and thousands and thousands just through our Instagram, which is instagram.com/elephantjournal or Waylon Lewis. All right. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the video. If you missed it, youtube.com/elephantjournal. Maybe give a bow to everybody who listened in. Give it a like or a share if you want to support this video getting out there. And I'll see you Monday at 9 or 9:30. Now that I have coffee, probably 9. Take a good posture, good little breath, and give it away. And farewell from Redford as well. He is ready for breakfast. I would hang up, but there's so many likes going on, I feel like I'm hanging up on you, so I'll just wait. I'll wait for the likes to die off. Oh, I know. We'll end with some Alan Watts. How's that? Or Pema. While you like, it's a like party. Sorry, I had to turn my Wi-Fi back on.
Of fearlessness. In these teachings, what is said is that without it being heightened, then it just drives you, it haunts you all the time. And in talking to people now whose homes, they've had to move out of their homes, where their business,
we already heard this part.
The chance of losing weight to fear becomes, I guess you could say, this is teaching that is like the teaching that you need to be of benefit in the 21st century. You want to be comfortable, and so you scramble for ground. And often